Okay, so the question to the stars is, what's the biggest challenge that they've had as an actor in any movie, not just screen?
I can take that. For me, it was the physicality in Planet Terror. And I remember there was this sequence where he shoots my hands, I can't use my hands, and I jump out the window into a pile of garbage, and then I stagger to the car, and then I have to figure out how to open the car without my hands, so I use my teeth. And I remember Robert Rodriguez saying, you have to sell this like it's a silent movie. And that direction just always stuck with me. He's like, if there was no sound, you have to sell it so people really get what's happening. But that's the first thing that comes to my mind, is like a physically challenging role.
It's a great piece of direction. I'm gonna just start saying that to actors when I'm on set. Sell it like I have lines. It's a monologue. For me, I was on some show called Willow, and some show. Well, it's gone now, so no one can watch it. We were in Wales, and it was kind of raining. We were on the top of a quarry. Rain started pouring down, but we couldn't really see it, so they put on a rain machine on top of the actual rain. I have about 4 hours worth of prosthetics on my chest, so I can't get anything over, like, to cover me, because it'll stick to the prosthetic, so whatever, they're trying to keep me warm. Everyone else had kind of these things called chill cheaters. It's basically a wetsuit that's cut in half and you can kind of put them on. Makes you kind of like a human condom, but I couldn't put them on because you'd see them through my costume, so I ended up fainting and having hypothermia at the top of that mountain.
Wow.
Yeah. And in the scene, I like fall over because I'm injured. But like, I don't think they used the take or anything like that. But like, there was one take where I just fully fell over and just went down like a ton of bricks. And they're like, "That was great." He didn't say his lines though.
Damn, to me. I almost died.
No, I think for me it was also involving cold, and yeah, it's just like being cold. It tenses your entire body, and to like be able to emote, you need to kind of be relaxed, and so being cold just messes everything up. I was like, I had to do a lot of underwater scenes in like a glacier lake, and I did a lot of cold water training for it and breath hold training and everything, but literally the body is just like, no, I don't care that you trained for this, it's not happening.
Yeah.
And everything just kind of like, I remember just feeling bloated. Like immediately in the water, I couldn't even like swallow air. It was like I couldn't do anything, and it was intense. That was probably the hardest physically, because I felt like useless. I couldn't even do anything about it.
Your body just goes.
You can't feel your mouth and you try to form words. It's impossible. Like I had a scene in a meat locker once, and I literally couldn't feel my mouth, and you're like yeah.
Also, like your body automatically just starts curling.
Yeah.
So it's like they're like, relax. I'm like, I physically can't get out of this. Like my shoulders are up, and you gotta. During Budapest, we shot in Germany in the winter there, and it was the same thing. They were like, just relax, and so we would be running back and forth in the field just to get ourselves warm, to sit down on top of something, and then be like, okay, and then we're saying lines like, it's not really cold, and then they yelled cut.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing that we do that. Like they yell action, and you're like, and then as soon as they yell cut, like you involuntarily convulse.
I feel like actors have been hypnotized with action and
yeah, seriously.
Okay, right here.
hate it. Because, like, it's Dewey. Even though, like, he's the most lovable character, in my opinion. And so, I guess I understand the thinking of, like, one of the three has to die at this point. And they've survived for so long that, like, for there to be any stakes and for the people to be like, oh wow, they're not playing, they needed to kill off one. And a part of me understands that they would kill him off because it's honestly like it's a female empowerment franchise, so they had to leave the women alive. But it's still not fun. And I think David would agree.
Did you get that script in its entirety when that first happened? Like, David was here and said that he didn't know, they didn't tell him ahead of time that he was going to be killed off in the film. He didn't find out until he got the script.
I think I did. I did know, yeah.
You knew.
Yeah.
What I didn't know was who the killers were. They didn't give us the ending. They never do.
Yeah.
They always withhold the third act.
Yeah, they were all.
Until what point?
Until we got there. I think when we got to Wilmington, then we did a table read where a few of us knew and a lot of us didn't. I was one of the ones that did know everything, but a lot of the other people didn't. I remember that we were all sitting and like we stopped at page, I don't know, 70, and then we all looked at each other like, who is it?
Wow.
Because we didn't know. I did. But I also was pretending to not because I felt bad that I was like one of the only one that did. Yeah.
So did they tell the person who it's going to be ahead of time? Like, would that affect your acting to know whether or not it's you?
Yeah, I think they did know.
Yeah.
Like Mikey and Jack did know.
Costume-wise, they kind of got to know to make the costumes in time and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The logistical state of, you want to keep a secret, but it's like,
Yeah.
gotta fit him for his shoes, and the costume, and the mask.
Yeah. And also like Ghostface uses a very specific kind of boots, and so
Yeah.
I remember the conversation with Sam in wardrobe was, we want to give you a boot that kind of looks like a Ghostface boot so that people will think that it could be you. You know, so that was like the whole thing of like picking a shoe that could be a Ghostface boot but is not exactly like the Doc Marten is, you know?
Yeah.
So they think about all those things so that everybody's a suspect.
Red herrings.
Okay, I'm going to take somebody towards the back right here. Yes.
So this one's directly towards Melissa. I feel like there's somewhat of a large elephant in the room that we aren't really addressing here in regards to why you will, the bullshit reasons, let me say, why you will not be in Scream 7. And as for that, I just want to know, what are your general thoughts, energies, feeling towards how Spyglass has chosen to take the franchise for the future?
Okay, so the question is to Melissa, how she feels about not moving forward with the Scream films.
I think that question is going to get me in trouble, so I am not going to answer that. And I hope that you can understand. Thank you.
I think the fans have their own opinion, so nothing more needs to be said.
I'm mad I'm not in Scream 7. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I did die, but like, you know, who does die, right? Come on.
I do.
How about you, Marley, when you found out that 5 was going to be your last, like kind of like where you're like,
Oh, I did a full court press to try to convince them to change the script and keep me alive. I did. I had a whole presentation for the filmmakers and the studio. I was like, guys, you have to keep the law enforcement. That's a part of Woodsboro. That's a part of the whole legacy, is that there's the fumbling, bumbling police department, and if you're gonna kill Dewey, I just threw him right under the bus. I'm like, you gotta keep me alive, because I have to carry on the legacy. And so And they just kind of nodded and smiled and like, yeah, you're dying. I tried, guys. I tried.
Okay, over here.
My question is just, a day covered in fake blood, is it the best day or is it the worst day?
Fake blood.
A day covered in fake blood.
Okay.
Best day or worst day?
I think the worst.
Sticky.
It's so sticky, you can't touch anything. And they don't want to get it off your hands because it won't match, even though who's paying attention to hands that much?
Yeah.
Maybe you guys aren't.
And it stains.
It stains. And the only thing that gets it off is like shaving cream, at least for me.
Yeah.
So you're basically showering yourself with shaving cream, and it's slowly coming out, and by the end of it, you look like an Oompa Loompa because it's stained. You're kind of orange in the sunlight, and it's not great.
Honestly, for me, it's best day. I love being covered in blood. Maybe I'm weird, but I'm so used to it now, and I kind of think it's sexy in movies. Fake blood. I like the look.
Who else? Let's see. Let's get somebody on this side of the room, right here.
Hi, shout out to Marley. I just saw so interesting film. I loved it. There's a lot of Easter eggs in that movie. So many background nobody will see. And I got a story. What's your favorite movie director of all time?
My favorite movie director? Oh, that's really hard. I don't think there's any one director because so many wonderful directors. One that I personally worked with, and two that I would love to work with, whose films I love. But what do you mean?
You're not gonna say who?
My favorite director is?
No, you just said one that I worked with and two that I haven't. Are you gonna tell us who?
No, I said like some that I've worked with.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't say one.
Oh, I thought you said one.
I said some. I need to speak more clearly. No, I mean like Matt and Tyler are phenomenal, and I would put them up there working wise. The experience I had with them was so lovely. It reminded me and mirrored with someone like Wes Anderson, who maybe people wouldn't conflate the two, but they created a set and an environment that made it just really fun and friendly, and that kind of means a lot to me. And then there's filmmakers I would love to work with, like Tarantino, Derek Cineprance, Spielberg, all the classic, Hitchcock. There's a lot. Tarantino's another one, right?
He's got one left.
Yeah.
Get on it.
What?
He's got one movie left.
Tarantino's only going to do one last film.
Oh.
Well, that's
I
what
know.
he said, right?
Yeah.
I'm having good luck with that. I worked with Miyazaki on his last film, where he became unretired again. So I was like, oh, come on. So maybe again with him, but I'm hoping because I'm getting that last movie luck, I'm hoping I can sneak somewhere in. I'll be like, I'll be an extra. You can shoot me. Dirty Mexican, but. Favorite directors?
Yeah.
Tough question.
Such a tough question.
I like Denis Villeneuve.
Oh,
I think he's great. I think every one of his movies is great. So
yeah. Ryan Coogler. That's another one that's like recent that I love.
Boots Riley.
Taika.
Boots Riley.
Boots Riley.
Taika.
Taika. Oh. Taika's great. I love Taika. What a ball of energy.
Celine Sciamma and Lucas Dant. I love their movies.
Pedro Almodovar.
We're just gonna
We're just
start for
naming-
the next 30 minutes. We're just gonna name directors.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever worked with a director that really allowed you to change the character from the page to what you brought to it?
I don't know if I've ever requested that.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
maybe on paper it started out one way, but then they saw, how you did things or something you came up with, and they were like, oh, we're going to go with that. Like where you fleshed it out much more than what was originally there.
I've definitely done that, where I've fleshed it out more, and a director has given me the leeway to do so.
Because I know, like Kevin Costner supposedly, like you can't change a word of the script.
No.
Where other directors are more
Wes
open.
Anderson.
Well, Matt and Tyler are very flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They trust their actors to do whatever they want.
They didn't trust me. They went, do what we tell you. Nothing else. How dare you change that line? I was like, I'm sorry.
Okay.